Welcome back to my channel. Today, we will learn about the issue that's setting the bold and the beautiful on fire with a whirlwind of misunderstanding, heartbreak, betrayal, and emotional fallout. In a storyline full of tangled emotions and explosive consequences, three characters, Carter, Hope, and Liam, become entangled in one of the most intense love triangles we've seen on the show in years. What begins as a moment of compassion quickly unravels into a cascade of pain, confusion, and irreversible decisions. Let's get into it. It all begins with a conversation between Hope Logan and Liam Spencer. Liam, gravely ill and battling a terminal brain condition, is facing his final days. Hope, deeply connected to Liam despite everything they've been through, chooses to be by his side. Not because she wants to reignite a romance, but because she wants to give comfort to a man she once loved. A man who fathered her child. A man she doesn't want to die alone. Hope's presence with Liam is rooted in compassion, not passion. But Carter Walton doesn't know that. Unbeknownst to Hope, Carter overhears a conversation between her and Liam. But he doesn't hear everything. He catches enough to misunderstand. To misinterpret. In his mind, Hope and Liam are reconnecting romantically. He believes Hope is preparing to leave him to go back to Liam. The thought crushes him. Carter is devastated. He's invested in Hope. He believed they were building something real. To think she would run back to Liam, just as Carter opened his heart, feels like a betrayal. A deep, unexpected betrayal. Heartbroken and reeling, Carter makes a decision he will regret. Enter Daphne. Daphne, who has long admired Carter from afar, sees his vulnerability. She senses his pain. She offers comfort. And Carter, caught in an emotional whirlwind and driven by a combination of anger, hurt, and loneliness, lets his guard down. What starts as conversation turns into physical intimacy. Carter and Daphne end up in bed together, a moment of weakness born out of emotional confusion. But the timing couldn't be worse. Hope, wanting to clear the air and explain the truth to Carter, shows up at his place. She's nervous but hopeful. She wants to let him know that her time with Liam is only about support. That she still wants to be with Carter. That nothing has changed in her heart. Then she walks in. And sees Carter in bed with Daphne. It's a moment of pure shock. Her expression turns from confusion to heartbreak in seconds. Her eyes take in the scene, Carter with another woman, fully exposed in the worst way possible. Daphne, equally stunned, tries to cover herself. Carter, realizing what just happened, is speechless. Hope doesn't wait for explanations. She turns and walks away, furious and betrayed. Carter scrambles to get dressed and runs after her. He catches up with Hope outside, begging her to stop. To talk. To let him explain. But Hope is done. She's livid. And when she finally does speak, what she reveals leaves Carter completely stunned. Hope tells him the truth. She wasn't getting back together with Liam. She was only there for him because he's dying. She just wanted to make Liam's last days peaceful and meaningful. That's it. She never stopped caring for Carter. She never left him. She came to see Carter because she wanted to be with him, not Liam. Carter is crushed. The misunderstanding wasn't just painful, it was a complete mistake. He realizes, in an instant, that he has destroyed the very thing he was trying to protect. His actions, fueled by an assumption, have cost him the woman he loves. He apologizes. He pleads. He tells Hope that it wasn't about Daphne. That he was heartbroken and thought he'd lost her. That he made a terrible mistake. that he would do anything to take it back. But Hope isn't in a place to forgive. Not now. Her heart is torn. Not just because of Carter's betrayal, but because she no longer has the emotional space to deal with relationship drama. Her mind, her energy, her soul, they are all focused on Liam. He doesn't have much time. Every day counts. Every moment could be his last. And now, more than ever, she needs to be present for him. Hope tells Carter exactly that. She doesn't blame him entirely. She knows there was a misunderstanding. But the truth is, in the middle of everything, her grief, her stress, her love for a dying man, she doesn't have the strength to deal with betrayal. Even if it was accidental. She tells Carter that she needs time. And space. And that right now, her only focus is Liam. Carter stands there, gutted. Watching the woman he loves walk away. Knowing that what happened with Daphne was a mistake. Knowing that his failure to trust Hope, even just to ask, has destroyed what they had. But his heartbreak is only just beginning. Because now, he also has to face Daphne. Daphne, meanwhile, is left with her own complicated emotions. What happened between her and Carter wasn't meaningless to her. She cared about him. She hoped that their night together meant something. But now she sees that she was simply the rebound. A temporary distraction. A mistake Carter wishes he could erase. And Carter doesn't hide it. He tells her the truth. That it was a moment of weakness. That he still loves Hope. That what happened between him and Daphne wasn't real. Daphne is hurt, humiliated, and furious. She storms out, leaving Carter alone with his guilt. Now, Carter stands at the crossroads of his life. He's lost Hope, at least for now. He's hurt Daphne. And he's left questioning everything about how he handled the situation. For a man who prides himself on integrity, this moment will leave a permanent scar. Back with Hope, the mood is somber. Liam's health continues to decline. Each day becomes more difficult. Hope spends her time at his side, holding his hand, talking about old memories, making him laugh when she can. The romantic love between them may have faded, but the emotional bond is still strong. Hope wants to make sure Liam feels loved, appreciated, and not alone. She tells no one about what happened with Carter. It doesn't matter now. All that matters is Liam. She reads to him. She brings Beth to visit. She makes his final days as peaceful as possible. And as she does, something shifts inside her. She realizes that love is not just about loyalty or attraction. It's about presence. About support. About showing up, even when it hurts. Meanwhile, Carter watches from afar. He knows that Hope may never forgive him. That his mistake might cost him the only real connection he's had in years. He doesn't chase her anymore. He respects her choice. He steps back. And he begins the painful process of healing and reflection. He doesn't go back to Daphne. He doesn't try to justify his actions. Instead, he pours himself into work. Into redemption. Into understanding how one mistake, one assumption, can destroy something fragile. As the storyline continues, Liam's fate hangs in the balance. Hope remains by his side. Carter remains in the shadows. And everyone involved is changed forever by what happened. This isn't just a story about cheating or misunderstanding. It's a story about grief. About timing. About how love and pain can coexist. About how even the best intentions can lead to the worst outcomes. And it's not over yet. Next, we will dive deep into the heart-wrenching journey of Liam Spencer, portrayed with unparalleled depth by Scott Clifton, on The Bold and the Beautiful. Clifton's recent performances have elevated emotional storytelling to new heights, particularly as Liam grapples with a devastating brain tumor diagnosis and the reality of his own mortality. This article will explore the nuances of Clifton's acting, the raw emotional beats of Liam's interactions, and the profound themes of love, regret, and redemption woven into this storyline. With fresh insights, invented elements, and a detailed expansion on each moment, let's unpack why Clifton's work has left fans reaching for tissues and reflecting on life's fleeting beauty. A performance that transcends the screen. Scott Clifton has long been a standout on The Bold and the Beautiful, but his current portrayal of Liam Spencer facing a terminal illness is nothing short of a masterclass in acting. Every furrowed brow, every tremble in his voice, pulls viewers into the immediacy of Liam's struggle. This isn't just a performance, it's a visceral experience that makes you feel as though you're standing beside Liam, sharing in his quiet despair and fleeting bursts of hope. Recently, Soap Central crowned Clifton the Performer of the Week, a well-deserved recognition for his ability to balance raw vulnerability with a subtle strength that defines Liam's spirit. Beyond the tears, Clifton imbues Liam with a quiet resolve, a determination to find meaning in his final days, which resonates with anyone who has ever faced loss or contemplated their own legacy. A poignant father-son reunion. The week's emotional journey began with a charged encounter between Liam and his father, Bill Spencer, marking their first meeting since a bitter argument that spiraled into tragedy. That fight, a culmination of years of tension over business dealings and personal betrayals, left Liam collapsed on the floor, leading to the shocking discovery of his brain tumor. Yet, in this reunion, Clifton chose not to let Liam reveal his dire prognosis. Instead, we witnessed a tender, unspoken bond between father and son. Bill, oblivious to the ticking clock, expressed genuine joy at mending their fractured relationship, reminiscing about simpler times when Liam was just a boy with big dreams. Liam, knowing this could be their final goodbye, soaked in every word, his eyes reflecting a storm of love and sorrow. Clifton's subtle shifts in expression, a wistful smile, a fleeting glance away, painted a picture of a man cherishing a moment he knows won't come again. This scene wasn't just about reconciliation, it was a profound reminder of how often we take time for granted, assuming tomorrow is promised. Tears and truths in Brooke's living room. Later in the week, the storyline shifted to Brooke's living room, a space that became a sanctuary of heartbreak as Liam opened up to Hope Logan. If there was ever a need for a mop, it was to clean up the flood of tears shed by both characters and viewers alike. Hope, portrayed with equal intensity, sat across from Liam as he poured out his fears and regrets, each word heavier than the last. Clifton's delivery was a delicate dance between despair and a desperate clinging to life's remaining joys. In an invented twist, Liam shared a memory of their early days, a spontaneous road trip to the coast where they danced under the stars, free of the complications that later defined their relationship. This recollection, paired with Clifton's wistful tone, added a layer of nostalgia to the scene, reminding us of what Liam stands to lose. The living room, with its warm lighting and familiar comforts, became a stark contrast to the cold reality of Liam's diagnosis, making every sob and shared embrace feel even more piercing. Finding joy amidst the pain. What sets Liam's storyline apart from other soap opera death narratives is his relentless pursuit of joy, even as the shadow of death looms large. Clifton infuses every glance and whispered line with an almost defiant optimism, a choice that feels both inspiring and heartbreaking. In one memorable moment this week, Liam gazed out at the Los Angeles skyline from Brooke's balcony, marveling at the city's endless bustle, a symbol of life moving forward even when his own is slowing down. "I've spent so much time fighting for tomorrow that I forgot to live for today," he murmured to Hope, a line delivered with such sincerity by Clifton that it felt like a personal confession. This invented detail underscores Liam's newfound perspective, highlighting how his illness has stripped away petty conflicts to reveal life's true priorities. Clifton's ability to mix sadness with a glimmer of hope in his eyes ensures that viewers don't just mourn for Liam, they root for him to find peace in whatever time remains. A lens of regret and clarity. Beyond the emotional farewells, Clifton's performance also shines in depicting Liam's stark self-awareness as he reflects on a life marked by mistakes. Over the years, Liam's indecisiveness and romantic entanglements have often painted him as a flawed, sometimes frustrating character, a point Clifton himself has critiqued in interviews. Now, as Liam faces the end, there's a cathartic shift. Clifton plays this realization with a mix of regret and acceptance, as if Liam is finally seeing the collateral damage of his choices. In an added narrative thread, Liam privately journals his thoughts, penning letters to both Hope and Steffi Forrester, expressing sorrow for the rivalry he inadvertently fueled between them. "I should have been the bridge, not the wedge," he writes, a line that captures his longing to heal old wounds. This introspective moment, paired with Clifton's haunted yet determined gaze, shows Liam's growth, offering viewers a glimpse of the man he wishes he had been all along. The power of Clifton's craft. As Liam's story unfolds, Scott Clifton continues to remind us why he's a cornerstone of daytime television. His ability to convey a spectrum of emotions from quiet resignation to fierce determination to love beyond words makes Liam's journey unforgettable. In an invented subplot, Liam begins compiling a video diary for his children, recording messages of life lessons and laughter, ensuring they'll remember his voice even when he's gone. Clifton's tender delivery in these imagined scenes adds another layer of poignancy, emphasizing the universal fear of being forgotten. Through every tearful goodbye and every fleeting smile, Clifton crafts a Liam who is not just dying, but living more fully than ever before. It's a testament to his skill that we, as viewers, feel compelled to cherish our own moments a little more dearly after watching. A story that resonates. In conclusion, Scott Clifton's portrayal of Liam Spencer on The Bold and the Beautiful is a tour de force that transcends typical soap opera drama. This storyline, enriched by emotional reunions, tear-soaked confessions, and a desperate embrace of life's fleeting joys, speaks to the fragility of existence and the power of love to endure even in the darkest times. Whether it's the silent heartbreak of a father-son moment with Bill, the tender nostalgia shared with Hope, or the introspective clarity of Liam's regrets, Clifton ensures every scene leaves an indelible mark. As we watch Liam navigate his final chapter, we're reminded to hold our loved ones closer, to forgive past wrongs, and to live with intention. Next, we will delve into the emotional roller coaster unfolding on The Bold and the Beautiful, where Liam Spencer's heartbreaking diagnosis is reshaping relationships and sparking unexpected reconciliations. As Liam faces a terminal brain tumor, his plea for unity between Hope Logan and Steffi Forrester takes center stage, while Carter Walton finds himself entangled in a web of misunderstandings with the cunning Daphne. This article expands on these pivotal storylines with creative rephrasing, new details, and invented elements that deepen the drama and emotional resonance. Join us as we explore the fragile alliances, hidden motives, and unspoken truths that are redefining the lives of these beloved characters in Los Angeles. A new bond forged in tragedy. Liam's devastating prognosis has unearthed a side of Hope and Steffi that fans have rarely seen, a willingness to set aside deep-seated rivalries for the greater good. Steffi, having learned of Liam's condition before anyone else, experienced a profound shift in perspective during a quiet moment at Forrester Creations. Staring at a framed photo of happier times with Liam, she realized that her long-standing bitterness toward Hope over past betrayals felt trivial against the backdrop of his impending loss. When she finally broke the news to Hope, her voice trembled with sincerity, even though Liam had begged her to keep his illness under wraps. Hope, overwhelmed by the revelation, clasped Steffi's hand in gratitude for her honesty, a gesture that spoke volumes about their shared grief. In a tender, invented scene, the two women sat together on a park bench overlooking the city, reflecting on how their feud had cost them years of friendship. This moment of vulnerability hints at a turning point, but can it truly last amidst the chaos of their intertwined lives? Liam's heartfelt plea for peace. At the core of this evolving dynamic is Liam's desperate desire for Hope and Steffi to bury the hatchet once and for all. In a poignant exchange at his home, with the weight of his diagnosis hanging heavy, Liam sat both women down, his eyes pleading as much as his words. He spoke of a future he might not see, envisioning a world where their daughters, Beth and Kelly, could grow up as true cousins, unmarred by the bitterness of their mother's past. To drive home the emotional impact, we've added a detail where Liam gifts each woman a small, matching pendant engraved with the initials of their girls, a symbol of the unity he longs for. Clifton's portrayal of Liam in this scene radiates a quiet urgency, as if every word might be his last chance to mend broken bonds. Hope and Steffi, moved by his raw honesty, agreed to try once more, promising to stand as a united front, not just for Liam, but for the innocent little lives depending on them during this tragic time. A united front for Beth and Kelly. The motivation behind Hope and Steffi's reconciliation extends beyond Liam's wishes. It's deeply rooted in their roles as mothers. Beth and Kelly, the bright lights in their often tumultuous worlds, are about to face the unimaginable loss of their father. In an invented storyline, Hope and Steffi organize a small picnic at a local park, where the girls giggle over ice cream cones, oblivious to the storm brewing in their family. Watching their daughters play, the women share a silent understanding that their unity is no longer optional, it's essential. They reminisce about the times they've attempted friendship before, like a short-lived truce during a charity event years ago, only to fall back into rivalry over misunderstandings. This time, however, the stakes are higher. Their determination to shield Beth and Kelly from further pain is palpable, with Steffi suggesting they alternate weekends for joint family outings, ensuring the girls feel surrounded by love. Will this fragile pact withstand the pressures of their complicated history? Hope's potential return to Forrester Creations. As Hope and Steffi mend fences, a ripple effect begins to emerge in Hope's professional sphere, raising questions about her future with Forrester Creations. Steffi, in a gesture of goodwill, hints at welcoming Hope back into the family business during a late-night conversation over coffee at the Forrester mansion. This invented detail adds a layer of intrigue. Could a return to the fold shift Hope's focus away from her current romantic entanglements, particularly with Carter Walton? Such a move might redefine her priorities, giving her a renewed sense of purpose as she navigates personal loss. However, the timing feels precarious. Hope's emotional turmoil over Liam could cloud her judgment, and re-entering Forrester Creations might stir old tensions with other family members who've taken sides in past conflicts. Fans are left wondering if this potential career shift will be a healing balm or another source of drama in Hope's already turbulent life.